Wassail, roosters, cock-a-doodle-doo. It's another beautiful day, but actually it's so warm today I've had to put the fan on behind me. I'd also like to thank Francis, who sent me this beautiful t-shirt. I will email you, but I wanted you to kind of see it online first, Francis. Thank you so much. It's beautiful. I love it. So, we've got a big stack for this 5th moon reading, roosters. And I'm doing these readings in honour of a Canadian tarot reader, San, with an N, San Tarot. Check her out. She tells the most beautiful stories. So I'm going to shuffle the cards. Actually, while I shuffle them, I'm going to eat cacao because I decided to call in the spirit of cacao. So I'll do that while we're shuffling what's happening for roosters. I need 12 cards. Oops, there's a burst. They're coming. You've got 13, greedy. Oh, 14. However, let's ding the bells while I move them around to get them into some kind of order. We're getting there. It's very complicated with all the cards that exist. So, gorgeous. Okay, we're ready. So you start with 4 cards, but actually it's kind of, there's 2 first of all. No, let's do it the other way. This card is turning up so much in the readings at the moment. And when I was doing the earlier readings on the first day, it was so beautiful to see brand new cards every time. And now this one seems to be plaguing all the readings. It's the Hermit. It's obviously a 9, and it's coming to say, you know, it's that sense of isolation from lockdown. But the message I keep getting from it is, this is your old inner truth, and you're discarding it, and you're ascending it to a much higher truth now, which comes from within your heart chakra, and it's to do with accepting. Oh, that's quite difficult. Let's bring it there. This is the 10 of Swords. Turning away, turning your back on the past and letting all these old notions and thoughts that plague you just sail away. So the key, though, is not those 2, but these 2. And it is 2 2s. It's the High Priestess and the 2 of Swords. It's, I wished I'd said it earlier because they put the perfect phrase in my head, and then while I was moving the cards, it went away. It's, you're not trusting yourself enough, roosters. So here we have these two cards. You are tangled in your thoughts, and yet your thoughts are actually divine at the moment. You're being sent the most wonderful connected inspiration to your magnificence, which resides in another dimension as your higher self, and it is truly the most glorious energy. But notice how there's no eyes, there's no seeing, it's inner knowing, and it's like you hear these things, you hear these codes, there's runes floating in, there's a sense of the magic of Saturn coming down. There's a throat, her throat is covered, the High Priestess, as if she can't communicate yet this wonderful magenta Jupiter Saturn energy that's floating in. I'm hearing give it the elbow because of the Two of Swords. We'll come back to that in a minute. So the interesting thing about the High Priestess is that although her eyes are shut, if we actually go very, 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 very close, her eyes are actually open. It's so beautifully done, so gorgeous. You can see both sides to anything with your inner thoughts and your connection to your higher self. So give it the elbow, because the elbow contains a message, and the message is just give it the elbow, shunt it out. It's time to move forwards. So you have the Queen of Inspiration and the Queen of Swords. Queen of Inspiration is the Queen of Wands, passion, creativity. There's a whole new level of creativity and understanding that's coming towards you. And you've got the Queen of Swords, which is to be in the bloom and blossom of thoughts. And both of these characters, again, have their eyes shut. These are two magnificent feminine energies, divine female consciousness, sacred female consciousness, that is connecting with their higher self. And they're creating a new kind of language. And it is about bringing yourself into a new emotional space that would never hurt you. Your emotions become protected. In this Queen of Swords card, just down here at the bottom of the pedestal she's sitting on is a little bowl of emotions, her new bowl of emotions, and it's protected, and it's not, I do want to say, it's not released. You're not letting your emotions out yet properly. You will, because I can see the cards that are coming. But the point is that at the moment, you're being overprotective of your emotions because you're still not trusting yourself. This thing of not trusting yourself and your talents and abilities is the key message that's coming through. I want to say music and harps. I also want to say that this Queen of Inspiration, it's very interesting. Queen of Wands I'm quite sure she must have had a look at the Thoth Aleister Crowley deck, because the Queen of Batons has this leopard cheetah, and in that she holds the cheetah down. This is much more creative in that she just knows that this energy of the raw male magician, because this is what this represents to me, and that's also represented in that beautiful Wild Unknown Tarot deck. It is the Wild Unknown Tarot, isn't it, that comes with this? The one by Kim Kranz. The magician is a cheetah, magnificent creature. It's like the thoughts that this cheetah had have been transformed. I really am getting this sense of angelic harp, celestial music, tones coming through. And being at peace with yourself, but you really are overprotecting your emotions, but at the moment you're focusing on thoughts, the air, the element of air, and actually the point of this element of air is that within air are all the other elements. So it's about separating the elements to bring them together as one. So to untangle them and then, I don't know, weave them together somehow or let them flow differently. And you're trying to find a new place in the world with this Page of Pentacles. I do love this Page of Pentacles. There's a mandala on the floor. I have this trouble having a mandala because of the way I like to make a kind of visual joke, but there's a mandala in the hand and a mandala below, and the one below, you're floating almost not fully rooted yet in the real world. That's that sense of trying still to find your place. And you have with the Page of Pentacles, so you've got two queens, now we've got the Page of Cups with the Page of Pentacles. You're working on your emotional language, and this is why this sense of the filled bowl that's caged in, almost like caging your heart and not willing to give the energy out, appears in this card. This card is so amazing. It's talking about you and your higher self being one, but not being connected properly yet. And there's a bowl here at the feet of the higher self, and we're dealing yet again here with feet planting into the ground. It's grounding that you need to be working on, Roosters. Now, I want to also say you had 2 twos earlier. 2 twos, 2 queens, 2 cups. Now we've got 2 sixes. Then there's 2 aces. It's, you know, it's balance and duality. Gemini season, as we are now we're in, and this moon is a Gemini full moon in Western astrology. We have now the 6 of emotions and the 6 of from the major arcana. Sorry, they're talking in my head. Just give me a sec. So, okay. So this 6 of emotions is always about connecting with something from the past. Oh my goodness. There's a mirror. And I have a friend, Nicola. Hello, Nicola. And I just want to say mirrors are really important to you. And that's all I can say. This is about connecting with your higher self. This old friend, this old energy, this magical co-creative energy of balance. 6s are always balance. Is about your connection with your higher self. So, you know, when I have those moments, I always say, thanks, Spirit. And I allow people to spirit. But this is about not working with Spirit, letting Spirit just chill around you for a minute and actually joining with your higher self. This High Priestess, this arbiter of hidden knowledge, the hidden knowledge is in you. It's connected to you. It's your higher self on another plane. But in this Lover's card of co-creation, you can see down here this lotus blooming from the earth and the flower of heaven coming down to merge you and your consciousness in one body. And there are spiritual wings, but they're not really part of the picture. They will continue to be, but the focus, roosters, is your higher self. And actually, that was the energy of the new moon reading that I did for this period. So it's connecting with yourself. I'm just going back to the Six of Emotions, because there's a suitcase underneath the person. Saturn is visible. Again, we've got this link to Saturn. Saturn is the natural world. Saturn is the lower heart chakra. And there's a sort of I get a sense that earlier, this sense of slight despair, like I'm doing all this work and I'm still not connecting to the thing I want. This is you. And this is your, I don't want to say inner child, because this inner child is actually your higher self. And this higher self is laughing his head. It's dressed up as a aviatrix. She's all ready to go out and fly a plane. She's trying to fly you, and she's packed your suitcase for you. And she's reaching and pulling Saturn energy down, lower heart energy, which is the physical body's place in the heart, not consciousness heart. Higher heart is this flower that's coming down. So we then have the two aces, and here we have the Ace of Swords, absolute clarity. So it's not like this kind of sitting there, although there's very little looking with the eyes in these cards. But this is about changing the fractals, reaching a truth. And oh my goodness, you see, I've been looking at the fractal fascinator hat as a kind of spiral like there is in the shamanic deck. But today I'm seeing it as the stairs, that it really is. And it's about your higher self descending. It's not about ascending towards your higher self. It's about you earthing yourself, grounding yourself, and pulling your higher self down right into the earth grid. That's the divine magic that you're working on. And it comes with the Ace of Cups. Look, your little bowl that you had caged up is brimming with healing magic, really healing magic. And they're new beginnings, they're cosmic energies beyond imagining. I kind of want to do this. Edith Swan neck. So you need to become one with your higher self, but you've got to cool your higher self down. But the new frequency that's going to come out of your heart is so stable that it's a joy. And then we end with your greedy extra cards, Rooster, with the 7 of materials and the 9 of materials. Now, these really are just echoing the reading and where you're heading. The 7 of materials are pentacles. So this is really about this page energy becoming manifest for real. So the 7 of materials is your higher self descending towards you, bringing you new energy into the real world. It's just so interesting because the higher self, this wonderful glamour, but this higher self with the feet trying to bring yourself and root your feet into the actual earth frequency is being echoed in this card, because your higher self's got the most glamorous, beautiful dress, and she's got the most enormous, 32 lace-up knee-length boots that you might wear on a motorbike or climbing a mountain. So there's a real sense, It's like your higher self is so much less delicate than you imagine. And then when this connection comes in, you will radiate this energy from your heart. 9 of Materials is a strong, independent, amazing individual, usually a female, because in traditional tarot it's one of those rare cards that actually stands for a woman of power, and that's exactly what we're getting with this card. Look at the joy of this wonderful rose, higher heart energy resonating from within you out into the wider world. So to end the reading, I'm just going to add the bottom card, because I've been doing that with every reading, and I know it means you've got 15 cards, but maybe 15's got a number reason for you. I mean, it is a 6, and it is all about this balance, this co-creation of the lover's energy to you and your higher self co-creating a better life for yourself. So what do we have? We have the 10 of Wands. And that is to be unburdened. Do you know, look, it just, I want to say yak. Oh, yak. Your suitcase is there. I love it. Where's she gone? Where's that little aviatrix? So your aviatrix higher self, again, look, descending the holy mountain. Oh, so look, that's why this card came with the boots, with the jack boots. It's this notion of you, your higher self, she's got the boots again, and she's just coming down the mountain. Your holy mountain is a space that you're being almost holier than thou with. Your higher self is not as esoteric as you imagine. It's more real, much more real, and that's the energy that you need to connect with. So anyway, wassail.